Everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So I wanted to break down the first teaser that we actually have for the final season because they actually released that today. Actually, it was yesterday they released it. And we also got a sneak peek at the finale of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 3, which I kind of find surprising, to be honest. Like, we have a scene from the finale and episode 6 still hasn't even come out yet. But yeah, definitely make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. But let's just break this down here. So in this teaser here, we actually do see this greetings from the set, basically, from The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 4. You can tell the background here is just a lot of, what they've been doing for Season 3 and all that. I know that a lot of the artwork and all that for the final season is going to be very, very different. And so I'm excited for a lot of that because I think a lot of the promotion for the final season is going to be so much fun. We do see the shot of Carol here and she's coming out of this vehicle. So obviously we don't know what's happening by the finale and all that. And a lot of this is the final season. So we're seeing like the final story of them in Spain before they go back home to America. So there's a lot of excitement there, obviously. Like, how is all of this going to play out? Which characters die? Are they going to end up going back to America? There's a lot of questions like that. So to see Carol here in a scene like this and not really have the context of what's going on here, it's so hard to say. Obviously, you could imagine that there's fire or something somewhere, right? Because it's sort of lit that way. Like, you can kind of tell it's obviously a nighttime shot or something like that. If you look in the background there, you do see a building. And so I don't know if this is in Solals del Mar or if there's somewhere else at this point, maybe closer to Barcelona. Like, I'm not sure, obviously, how a lot of the story from Season 3 here will play out going into Season 4 because Daryl's going to Barcelona right now. But I'm assuming that he's going to be leaving Barcelona and going back to Solals del Mar because all of the main characters are there, right? So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out here. But yeah, we see Carol here. In terms of any kind of outfit change, I don't think she's actually had any at all. So, I guess that's pretty realistic to surviving in the apocalypse. Like, you're not always going to change your outfit all the time. It makes no sense to do that, right? So, I like the small details like that, like keep it very, like simple, like just surviving, in the apocalypse kind of thing. So, is this episode 1 or 2? I'm not sure. They've been filming for quite a while. So I do think that obviously not tomorrow after episode 6, but next Sunday after episode 7, the finale, I do think we will get a teaser for season 4. It's going to be very similar, I think, to the teaser that we got for season 3 after season 2. And so, yeah, obviously very exciting. And if you're looking back at that teaser, a lot of the footage that we got was from really the first 5 episodes, I would say, for the most part. So there likely could be a lot of stuff there, right? And so I'm excited to see, that teaser. I'm sure we're going to get one. And and the thing is, I'm really excited about the final season because the final season to me could honestly be such a great season. I think it honestly might be maybe the best season of the show because Season 1 for me, Season 3 I would say is maybe a little bit better than Season 1. It depends on how it ends. It really does depend on how it all ends. I really liked Season 1 a lot. Season 3 has had some really amazing moments. It's definitely, like, for sure, Season 1 or 3 are really great seasons. Season 2 is definitely, I don't think Season 4 is going to be as bad as Season 2, for sure. I think Season 4 might be the best season just because of the ending. And, reuniting with Laurent and Ash potentially if Cadron is back. Maybe Rick Grimes appears at the end, or maybe there's some kind of, Commonwealth thing or whatever. Like, there's just a bunch of stuff that they could obviously do at the very end of that show that would be really exciting. And that's why this story is going to be pretty exciting to watch, at least for me personally, because, when you look back to All Out War, I think I had the same feeling then, which was like, the beginning of the war was obviously kind of exciting to see, but then you get to the point where it's like, okay, this is kind of dragging out kind of thing. And then you get to the final moments, like the final couple episodes of season 8, and you're realizing that, like, this is about to end and they're going to go into a totally different arc, right? Like with the Whisperers and all that. Well, obviously, I think a lot of us were just speculating that at the time, but, we knew that the arc was coming to an end at the end of season 8. And there was a lot of excitement there to see how all of it was going to end, even though it was, I just think that the excitement there to see how that was going to end, it was there. And I think, I'm not going to say that this season or this show was like dragging out the story to have Daryl and Rick reunite. It definitely wasn't. I love this show a lot. It's definitely like up there with my favorite like Walking Dead shows ever. And yeah, but I will say that, just the excitement of having the characters reunite is obviously, it's there. Like, everyone is really excited to have that, or to see it. So I just think actually be able to end this story here and go into something else, I think it just keeps everything really refreshing because arcs, for the most part, like in The Walking Dead are always like a season or two, right? Or a season and a half. And that's how you keep things really fresh, I would say. And so, I will say that's kind of an issue with Dead City as well, is like the whole New Babylon arc and everything happening there in New York City. They're going into season 3 and it feels like we didn't even really start that arc. Like, I think that's kind of the issue with that show. If you're thinking about it, what is the arc? Like, there's no arcs, like, in The Walking Dead. The Dead City, it's just been everything with New Babylon and the Croat and Dama, and it's still going on into season 3. So it's just like, what is really happening? Like, so I think that's something that they have to definitely change in season 3. Go in a totally different direction. Honestly, if there's a way you can get out of the New Babylon arc and just, away from the Croat and Dama and all of that, just do something different there. Like, I like those characters, but just do something different, because arcs aren't supposed to ever be really more than 2 seasons, I would say, for the most part. But we did actually see Norman Reedus here, and he's with Melissa McBride, and then there's Melissa McBride's stunt double, or I guess Carol's stunt double, right? And obviously there's a lot of just like hilarious moments or whatever throughout the teaser. Mostly what I want to talk about, though, is a lot of the other shots here that I find really cool. So when you're looking at like what to kind of expect here, you do see Daryl here, and obviously this is just his outfit here, I guess, for the season. And so the one thing that I will say, like the one thing that you can definitely notice right away, is that, I don't know what you would call them, but it's like whatever he's wearing, like the outfit he's been wearing since season 1, like that beige sort of like, I guess, straps that kind of went over his shoulders or whatever. I think it like clipped into his pants or something. Like, obviously it's not really a part of his outfit anymore. And so I don't know if that's something that happens, during a fight or whatever in the finale, or if it's just something that happens in, the final season here. But the look he has here is very similar to his look really in the last, I don't know how many seasons of The Walking Dead. Like, this kind of reminds me of season 8 Daryl, if anything, like from All Out War, because that was really his outfit, right? It was like a dark shirt like this. It was like a button-up shirt with like, dark jeans or whatever. So, really cool. In terms of the surroundings, I mean, it's really kind of hard to say what's obviously happening at all. Like, it's really, I mean, I don't know. Like, you have this one shot here of Daryl with this gun here, and obviously you can kind of see his full outfit here for the show. So, he's like in a city or something, a town. Like, you can see like the pavement there or whatever, and some steps. There's a building there. So, I don't know where this is. I don't know if they're going into different places in Spain. I can see them definitely doing that, but obviously without any context as to what happens in the finale. Like, is, what's happening with King Torres, or I guess the soon-to-be King Torres, going to be a story in season 4, or does that all end in episode 6 and then something else is introduced? Like, we have no idea yet. Obviously, we have to watch the next 2 episodes. We then see some shots here of this mysterious character here who is, well, actually, it looks like there's 2 characters from what I'm seeing here. It's kind of hard to tell, but if you notice, 2 people are walking up to this door here, actually, and it could be Daryl and Carol for sure. I mean, really incredible building here, but I don't know why they're going here, because that's the one thing about what's going to be happening this season too, is like, obviously they're going to be wanting to try and get back home, right? Well, how do they get back home? Like, I think that's the thing we're all wondering right now. And I wonder how much in that season, because there's 8 episodes in season 4. So the first episode will probably introduce a lot of things. There's going to be villains and that whole thing, but there will be an overall story of like, well, how are we going to get back home? And like, they're probably going to have a plan of like, if we do this and that, we'll be able to get a boat and then eventually get back home, right? Because we haven't seen the scene yet where their boat is like on fire. And I'm assuming that that's probably going to happen. I don't know for sure, but just based off of that shot, it looks like Daryl and Carol are like, like on the shores of Spain, and it looks like something's on fire. So I imagine that that's likely going to happen. And then maybe it ties into the finale scene that we saw for season 3. I'll talk about that in a separate video though. So they're going to have to find a different way in season 4 to get back home. And I just wonder what that's going to be. If it's going to be another plane or, and maybe it's just not that and it's a CRM that show up. I think that'd be kind of cool. It would be really surprising, honestly, if the CRM just showed up. Like, if, imagine Rick was the one flying the helicopter or whatever. Like, that'd be insane. Could you imagine that? Like, Daryl and Carol are just, I think that's the thing, though, about that specifically, is you somehow have to explain the fact that Laurent and Ash know that Daryl and Carol are in Spain. Because Laurent and Ash don't really know that they went to Spain, right? Like, I think maybe they knew that they were going to end up going to London or something, but That's the thing about that. Like, I don't think there was anything that confirmed that. Maybe, but I don't remember that. So if they ever went to go and save Daryl and Carol, they're going to be going straight to France, right? Like, they're not going to go to Spain. So I think that's the thing when it comes to that. Like, it just doesn't make too much sense unless there's something specifically that happens there in the season that can alert them to all that. Or unless maybe, you know, if Cadron is there in the final season, he's just like, well, let's just go back to France because in France, there's boats and like this and that, and we can actually find something there, you know, and maybe Cadron wants to go back with Daryl and Carol. So maybe he's the character that brings them up. And so maybe that's how the CRM show up or something, right? Like there's a way it can work out like that. But then we see this graveyard in this other shot. And yeah, I mean, obviously we don't know the context of what's happening here, but a lot of this is going to be a thing. Like, imagine if they were actually here and they saw like a grave or something that said like Jeffrey Grimes on it. Like, I know that doesn't make a lot of sense because, you know, anyone that died after the apocalypse started, like they weren't buried or anything like that. So I don't know why they're here, probably for a very cool scene. You know, maybe it has to do with walkers evolving or something like that. I think that would be pretty cool. We actually do see a shot of Carol, and I believe that's Antonio. I'm not sure entirely, but it does look like it is him. So, you know, obviously I think he's going to survive season 3 and be in season 4. Again, I don't know which characters are going to make it out of the whole season entirely, but it looks like he is going to be here at least for this season. So that is pretty exciting. Overall, I'm really excited about season 4. I really am. I cannot wait to get a lot of teasers, trailers, just more information about this final season. I think a lot of people are just excited for that, mostly. I think there's been genuine, like, you know, amazing, I guess, positivity for season 3. But I think the excitement is starting to build now as we know that the spinoff is coming to an end and that Daryl and Carol are going back to Spain and that there's going to be this big event happening most likely. So as for, you know, the announcement of that, obviously we never got anything at Comic-Con, which was definitely really disappointing. I thought we were going to get at least something, like just anything, but, you know, maybe they are saving that for the 15th anniversary event happening, you know, really soon, because this event was really more about The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. And, you know, sometimes they do get into stuff, but mostly they do want to focus on the show. And so they did talk about season 4 and stuff a little bit, but, you know, mostly it's kind of just about that show. And I think for this event, they're going to be talking about the 15th anniversary, everything about the show, and obviously the future. And so that's where I think for sure there's a higher chance of something coming up. And so besides that, honestly, for anything else, I guess we'll have to wait until we get anything really, like teasers or any other information, probably early next year or whatever. And I think there will be an announcement for sure at Comic-Con next year. Like, definitely, I do believe that. But as of right now, obviously, kind of hard to say. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. Definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.